You have an amazing product, but your marketing efforts haven't yielded much. Today's presentation is to help you reach those target customers, to compel them with a message that is going to make them buy, or at least get one of the 3 key marketing results. Every time that you invest your money in marketing, it should give you a return. And the 3 returns that are there in marketing are customers, interest, and recall. Customers is the number of people who are going to buy. Interest are people who are likely to buy or likely to buy in future. Maybe they don't have a hot problem at that specific point in time, or they are somewhere along their buying process. Recall is people who may not be even in the state of mind of buying, but are going to remember you from the interaction that you had with them. So that if they ever get to the stage where they are going to buy, they look for you, or may recommend somebody when in the course of conversations, they come across someone who is looking for someone who can solve their problem. We have labeled this presentation, How to Create Marketing Ideas that are going to wow your customers. My name is Dennis Mboro. I have been a consultant for the better part of the last 7 years, growing and understanding the concept of marketing. When I started, I didn't know much about the idea of marketing. I did not know how to make people buy, but I had a drive of understanding what makes people make buying decisions. That's what I wanted to understand. Why is it that there are so many businesses that are struggling to sell, whereas they are very good at what they do? That is what I wanted to solve. I wanted to make it easier for businesses to sell. And over time, I have grown in this area of what you call differentiation, how you stand out to your target customers. And that is what this presentation is about. I have worked with several businesses in helping them to articulate or put the words that best portray what the business is, with amazing results. So today's presentation, we are looking at 3 key ideas. The one idea is, could you be following the old way of marketing? And that is what is not working for you. The second thing is, what are customers looking for when they want to buy? And thirdly, how can you market in a way that is going to compel the customer? Initially, how marketing was done was almost like shooting in the dark. That is coming up with something, some kind of a message, an advert, then putting it in front of as many people as possible to see who gets interested, who ends up purchasing, or even whether your brand is going to be known. It was not something that was guaranteed. Actually, whenever you would go to these mass marketing organizations, they will tell you that when we put your advert here, you're going to appear in front of millions of people, and you're going to pay a lot of money each and every time that your advert goes on. But you never really know who is this person that has had, what impact has it had on them, and is it really going to return for my business? So the thought was, you have to do it consistently over a long period of time, and maybe, just maybe, your business or your product may, we call it in Kiswahili kushika, your business or your product may gain traction and attract a huge customer base. So everybody was in this business of, oh, this person has advertised, so this other person advertises as well, so that they don't lose market share. So it's just that matter of competition. And how they would come up with ideas was based on what the business owners, the board, or the top people thought they want to communicate. They look for somebody who is good at marketing, give them an idea of what they want to be put out. Then from there, it is cast wide, like targeting as many people as possible, hoping to get a couple, then blasted out putting it on media so that it is able to reach as many people as possible. The problem with this approach was that it created a lot of anger, I would say, discomfort, and disdain. I would even call it, it's bordering hatred of marketing, where people knew that the job of marketing is to interrupt you in what you're doing. So if you're watching your favorite show, you're watching the match, you're watching the soap opera, then boom, somebody just has to interfere or interrupt just at the time when your attention was highest. This is what led to even the idea of door-to-door salespeople who would come to your door and try and force you to buy something that you're not looking for. Then, of course, being a person who doesn't like that sense of being intrusive, you like to give people space, you like to be respectful, it created a reputation that if you are that kind of a person, then there is no way that you can become a marketer. But also, another problem emerged where customers are being totally underserved because they are just being pushed to stuff that may or may not even work for them. So people consume things not because they work for them, but because those are the stuff that they know. That is what eventually changed to when the technology, let me say, when the internet became more interactive and faster, then customers were able to provide feedback. As the technology has grown, it is possible for businesses to interact with customers directly. Now, with the growth of the customer voice, the idea of branding has become more essential, where customers buy not because they know, but because they love something. And the only way they can love is if whatever they are buying has come down to their level, understood their needs, and been tailored exactly to sort out the needs that they are facing. This applies for goods, it also applies for services. When this is done effectively, customers now become the advocates of this product, this service, and it creates what you call the word of mouth that makes the business known and attract customers without necessarily having to overinvest in marketing. So marketing becomes something that is delightful, that customers are looking forward to seeing what it is that you're posting. If you don't post, they're like, hey, have you closed? What's up? It becomes more of community building. It becomes more of customers being a part of what your business is. Now, to be able to achieve that, we have already mentioned, it is important now for the business not to think about what they want to communicate about themselves, but first, what the customers are facing. Customers are looking for messages for businesses that are coming down to sort out their needs. If you look at even big beverage brands, initially, you could only access them in certain millimeters, like 300 ml, 500 ml, but nowadays you find even 200 ml is accessible. All that is as a result of coming down to see what needs do customers have and what opportunities are there for us to serve them. Then the second thing is the idea of communication. Communication is all about speaking to somebody's needs, speaking to them in a way that they understand and that resonates with what it is they are facing. You're going to notice that today, even for big brands, whenever they are coming up with products, they are going to call them names that are easy for their target customers to remember. If they're targeting premium, they're going to call them platinum. If they're targeting people who are not as premium, or maybe let me call them the hustlers, quote unquote, they're going to come up with furushi or bunda, some words that community is able to remember. Words such as bamba 50, bamba 20, all that is speaking in a language that the people who are down there are able to understand. Of course, different businesses serve different customers. And with that being understood, how then are you able to position yourself to ensure that you are able to capture the customers that you're looking for? Of course, like we said in the beginning, if you know that your business is creating a product or a service that customers need, you know who these customers are, but you have been struggling to market to them in a way that is effective, the first place to start is to think about yourself. I know this may sound like it is counterintuitive or productive, like you're supposed to be thinking about the customer first, but think about yourself first. Think about, why did you start this business? Why did you start doing what it is you're doing? How have you grown? And what is it that is driving your business first? As you were talking about before, customers nowadays like to follow brands. They like to buy from people that they like, people that they trust, people that they love. But you need to think of yourself and your business as a person. Like, who is this person? What do they stand for? Who are they about? And in that way, you are able to see who is it that you are best able to serve. When you look at the people that you are best able to serve and who you are as a business, then you are able to write a message that can speak to those people in a language that they understand. Let me break this down further. A message essentially is supposed to do two things. It's supposed to speak to the person that you're targeting, and at the same time, it is supposed to say something about you. The message is the foundation of what marketing is. Let's give an example. Whenever you hear the message of quench your thirst, that's a message that Coca-Cola did for Sprite. And the images that you tend to see are people playing basketball, sports people, people who are athletic. And therefore, that says that that brand, even in terms of how it is designed, is all for people who are sporty, people who are outgoing, people who like adrenaline. That is essentially what that speaks to. So in that case, the brand itself, even in terms of the way the packaging is designed and all that, reflects what these people are, and the message speaks to what it is that they do each and every time. Say, like, if your business is dealing in fitness products, you can say that in terms of the message, it can be like fitness products for young moms trying to get back in shape. So whenever you're speaking that kind of language, it may mean that maybe you yourself have been in that journey, or you understand what it takes to get back in shape once you have gone through a delivery or you've gotten a child. So how you articulate the message should be based on who you are as a person and the people that you're targeting. This makes it easier to come up with marketing campaigns, and also to compel, to convince someone once they have shown interest in your product. Because the worst thing that you want is to have something that sounds interesting, but when someone comes to you and has the conversation, they don't find anything interesting. They find that that was just a gimmick to try and get them to come. There are these people in Kenya who sell shoes just on the roadside, and they like saying tatumia, 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 tatumia. When you go there and you choose your shoes, thinking that they are saying that 3 shoes are for 100 shillings, you realize that they mean that 1 pair of shoes is 300 shillings. So mia in Swahili is 100. So when they say tatu mia, you think that it is 3 for 100, but in actual sense it is 300. So that message may be captivating, it may bring people, but for somebody who thinks that the shoes are being sold for 100 shillings, leaves there very disappointed because they were lied to. At the end of the day, remember that the idea of unique marketing ideas is not just for that specific moment. It is to ensure that even after somebody has gone, how are they going to remember you? Remember the idea of recall? Interest. Do they really reflect the people that you're able to serve best? Because when they have when they do that first interaction, does their interest grow or does it really go cold? Then if they are customers, are you going to speak in a way that is going to serve their needs and ultimately lead them to making that specific purchase. So this information is a bit difficult to digest in just 15 or 16 minutes, but it is important to think about these 3 ideas when you want to capture customers for your upcoming event or pitch, presentation, wherever you're going to find yourself in front of customers. And if you require some assistance with the articulation, like you have a product, a service, you are struggling to know how you're going to market it, maybe you already know how good it is or how different it is, the people that you're supposed to serve, and they are not really being served well, do jump on a call with us. We're going to have a conversation about your product or service. Then you're going to get to know about our 5M product, where we help businesses articulate what it is that they have, present it to the market, and create experiences that are going to lead to future referrals, making business cheaper and helping you work in a way that makes you feel most fulfilled. So go ahead, get in touch with us. My name is Dennis Mboro. You can reach me either on LinkedIn. You can book a 15-minute online call on a link that is just below this video, or you can even follow our content online to learn more about what it takes to build a business, both on the mindset side, on the branding side, marketing, and every other thing that you may require. So thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. Until next time, and I hope that what you have shared in this video is going to help you in your upcoming event. Over.